snowing again. Whew. All right, so hold on. All right, so I left my house in Baltimore this morning, and it was cloudy and like 35. I get down the road for about half an hour, getting closer to Pennsylvania, and I might need my keys. I get down the road and I get going about halfway to Pennsylvania. And it starts snowing again on the way to Liberty, which is cool. But it's extremely cold, extremely windy right now. Okay, it's not that cold, it's 27. But with the wind, it feels like 5. There's supposed to be wind gusts today, up to like 30, 40 miles an hour. So it should be interesting snowboarding. Might not be a park day. Again, I know I really want to get some park riding in, but the conditions have just been really crappy for park riding lately. Either brutal cold and like icy, or days like today where it's just super windy. So we'll see what happens, but I will get footage, don't worry. With it being so windy today, it's probably a good day to test out my new mic and the windsock for it and see just how good the audio is under really high winds. You're probably gonna hear some wind noise just because it's so windy, but we'll see. Well, as you can probably tell, the snow didn't last for very long. The bad news is that the snow stopped, but the good news is the sun's kind of coming out. So hopefully it'll be a nice sunny day today. More bad news is though, so far, everywhere seems to be hard pack ice. A bunch of rain came through the area yesterday. It got really warm. It got up to like 60 degrees yesterday. And rained, unfortunately, which is kind of typical for this part of the country. Overnight it all froze, so everything's like a nice hard solid rock of ice. I'm hoping that the sun coming out will actually warm things up and it'll be decent riding today. Right now we're at the top of Upper Ultra. I think this is the steepest trail here, so I figure might as well start it off with that one. Also, I'm testing out the new rig today with the new mic and the wind muff on the mic. So let's see if there's any difference in wind noise. I'll be going pretty fast on this, so I have a feeling there'll be wind noise no matter what, but let's see if it sounds any different than without it. Hey guys, sorry, I had to take a second and just warn any headphone users out there, this audio is gonna be pretty rough. So consider yourselves warned. All right, back to the video. There's more of that, but trust me, you don't want to hear it. It's pretty awful. As you can tell, the audio was pretty much useless. I don't know exactly how fast I was going, but if I had to guess, it was probably between 30 to 40 miles per hour. I was moving. It sounds like as soon as I picked up a decent amount of speed, my levels started topping out, and that's what all that cracking and popping noise was. Also, maybe with all the wind, it was rattling this around and disconnecting the mic adapter, maybe. So obviously came to the conclusion that this setup with the external mic is not going to be good for anything where I'm going over 20 miles an hour or winds are higher than 20 to 30 miles an hour. But for talking to the camera, for doing any more casual riding, like everything in last week's video, if you want to check that out, I'll add a link right here. All that video, the entire thing was shot with the external mic attached, but I never was going all that fast, so the wind noise wasn't an issue. After this, I thought it'd be a good idea to test the audio of the camera itself, so I just disconnected the mic adapter. This was a bad idea. Take a look. Alright, let's try that again without the external mic. This time with just the GoPro's audio that's built into the camera. I'll do one more mic check. This is again with just the GoPro raw audio in the camera. And this is with the external mic and my new rig. So as you can tell, using the mic built into the GoPro, but having this metal frame around it, made everything sound like it was underwater or like it was in a wind tunnel. It just sounded awful. The shots where I'm riding weren't that bad, but they still sound worse than if I had no case on the camera whatsoever. The only time I could see this being something you would want is if you really want to protect the camera more and you don't care about the audio and you're going to dub it over with music or something like that, I guess. Surprisingly though, I actually got pretty good audio while I was riding with this setup, but with the camera pointed at me, so the mic was facing uphill. I'll show you guys a shot of that right now. You can actually even see the windsock just a tiny bit in the corner of the frame when it's in super view. But with the microphone not facing into the wind, it actually sounded a lot better. So maybe just turning the mic around would be a solution, although I'll pick up more of the audio behind the camera. I don't know. I did have more luck with this later on in the day. Later on in the day, I was able to meet up with Nick and Kyle again, and I was actually able to get some better footage with them filming me and not nearly as many issues with the audio. So maybe we just weren't going quite as fast as when I was bombing a double black diamond. But interestingly enough, the audio sounded better. It wasn't perfect, but it was better with the same setup. Take a look. And then last but not least, I finally got to use my camera with the Karma grip. Kyle brought the Karma grip out. We got it all set up. Unfortunately, you can't use anything like this with the Karma grip. You got to take the camera out. The way the gimbal is set up with the arm and everything, it just wouldn't be able to move with all this other crap on here. There's no way to use an external mic and a gimbal at the same time. At least I haven't figured it out if you can. So all the audio from these next couple shots are directly from the built-in mic on the GoPro while we're using the Karma grip. Unfortunately, Kyle forgot to charge the grip the night before, so we had enough juice for like one run. But here's how it turned out. So the Karma was cool. We got some really nice smooth shots. The audio was actually better than I expected. I still prefer using the external mic for anything where you're recording people talking, but I do think while snowboarding, while like actually going down the hill, whether you're in the park or riding trails or powder or whatever, I do think you're probably better off without a mic. Bottom line is I'm gonna use this setup for vlogging or anytime I'm filming somebody else talking, and then just pop the camera out of the case to get better audio while riding, especially if there's a lot of wind or you plan on riding really fast. That's gonna be it for today, guys. By the way, I'm going to Utah in a week, which I can't wait for. Probably gonna ride at Brighton. So stay tuned for footage of that whole trip. It's gonna be awesome. My wife and I are heading out in a week. We're gonna be gone for the weekend. I'm only gonna be snowboarding one of those days, but we're gonna kind of check out the area and see if we like Salt Lake City, and who knows what could happen next year if we do. That's gonna be an epic trip, and I'm gonna be filming every day, so stay tuned for a bunch of videos coming out from that. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when the videos come out. Leave a like and a comment down below. Keep progressing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.